Hey, good morning. Today we're going to troubleshoot intermittent electrical problems on my 1999 Mazda Protege. It all started with the air conditioner. Air conditioner, when it blows ice cold, but it doesn't always turn on all the time. And over the course of the last several months, it's gotten worse. It won't turn on more than it will turn on. When I hit bumps every now and then, it turns on. So I chased it, and I found that if I whack the fuse box under the hood, that AC turns on, it'll stay on until the next power cycle of the car. Well, I took the car into the shop for tires and struts, and they put new tires and struts on it and told me while it was there the alternator light came on. And the battery's 3 years old already, so I live in Florida. Batteries, if it lasts 3 years, you're doing good. So I had to put a new battery and alternator in it while I was at the shop. It's been about a week now, and on the way to work yesterday morning, the alternator light came on again. So the alternator light was on for about 2 miles. I figured I got to turn around and go home. So I get off the turnpike, and when I hit the toom, 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 toom in the road, hey, the alternator light went out. So I turned around and I went back to work. So I figured the alternator light went out, I'm good, but the light bulb in my head went on and said, hey, I hit bumps. Air conditioner has a problem. Alternator has a problem. There might be a common thread here. And there is. Since banging on a fuse box fixes the air conditioner, let's take that fuse box apart and see what we got. Mazda did a great job with the design of their fuse box. That whole thing comes out. It's on plugs. So I don't have wires stuck to this to where I have to keep twisting it and bending it to look at it. So I got the fuse box out. I'm going to show you what I found. And that fuse box was easy to remove, believe it or not. Once I got this fuse box out, I started looking at the plugs. So that plug looks good, that plug looks good, that plug looks good, that plug looks good, that plug looks good. But when I got to this one doesn't look so good. This plug's been getting hot. I got the brown heat mark coming through this plug. The wires aren't burned off this plug, but they've been getting hot. So what makes heat? Resistance. This is the connector where that white plug is that's been subject to heat. This is the white connector, got the resistance problem, and if this is the connector where the white plug goes in, if you see in there, there's corrosion. These two pins are corroded. I also have this pin is corroded. And I believe that's the air conditioner. So I'm going to clean these connector pins. I'm going to clean the connector in the car. I'm going to put all this together and cross my fingers. That Mazda's got 335,000 miles on it. That's been one of the best cars I've ever owned. And when it's broke, I got to drive the 1986 Corvette with 260,000 miles on it. Original engine, original transmission. I go back and forth to work, round trip 70 miles. I love to drive that car locally, but the trips to work, I'm rolling the dice. The quicker I fix old Black Betty, bam blam, the better off I am. So here we go. I cleaned that connector with isopropyl alcohol. I had no contact cleaner, nothing like that in the garage. So I cleaned this connector up just with a brush. This is called an acid brush. It's just a long bristle brush that I cut the bristles off to make it stiff. Because these brushes, the bristles are usually about that long and it's just too flimsy. So this let me actually apply pressure to scrub. So I cleaned all the contacts. I cleaned off that backside the best I'm going to do. I really don't want to mess with all that wiring. I don't want to disturb it because it's been hot, so it might be a tiny bit brittle. The less I mess with it, the better off I am. I cleaned this entire fuse box with the isopropyl alcohol and that same brush. I didn't scrape anything or use a wire brush. All I did was clean it up and got rid of the corrosion. Hopefully this lasted 330,000 miles. It'll last another 330. Maybe the wheels will fall off that thing before I ever have another electrical problem in this fuse box. I hope. I'm going to put it back together, see what we got. Everything's back together. We got the voltmeter on the battery. I'm going to turn the AC on with the switch. You can see that voltage dip. That means the compressor clutch engaged, and now the alternator's picked up the slack. We got a winner. I'm not going to be broke down on the side of the road. Yoo-hoo. The Mazda's all fixed. No more problems. Intermittent problems are really hard to find. Had I taken that car to the shop, it'd have been there in and out, in and out, in and out, and they would have kept telling me they can't find anything wrong with it. And they'd be right, because they wouldn't drive it like I was driving it. So if you're having problems with an automobile that's intermittent, really pay attention to the conditions that car is in when you experience the problem. Once hitting bumps solved two problems on my car. I knew where I was going with that. I had a loose connection or a bad connection, which you saw. I had the corroded plugs, makes resistance, causes heat, and that's all good. That should be good for another 300,000 on this baby. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody out.